One of my pain points over the years in both Ardour and Mixbus is trying to edit automation points within automation lanes. And I haven't done a lot of that historically, so every time I try, I struggle. And the biggest thing is just being able to grab these little automation points. So now that I'm using automation a bit more, I thought I'd provide a couple quick tips to make this easier. And the first one is not obvious immediately, but it's something I actually just realized today, and that is for any automation point that's at the bottom of the lane, your automation points don't show up unless your cursor's within the lane. So if you try to approach that from the bottom, it's super hard to grab. And again, it's just something I didn't notice until recently. So if you have one, just try to develop the muscle memory that if you're working with a single automation lane here, keep your cursor in there. But the other obvious one is that these little squares, the targets for the automation points, are super small. And as far as I know, there's one way to change that. You change your GUI scaling. So I tend to keep mine traditionally at 100% because I like lots of real estate. Ardour and Mixbus are both multi-platform. They run really well, I think, on all three major operating systems, on all sorts of monitor sizes and DPI, resolution, whatever. So there are some trade-offs here. I'm running on a fairly large monitor, and I have the fonts set pretty small, which means that my targets are small. So it is a trade-off, though. I'm going to open my preferences and change that and just see how I can make it easier. Before I do that, I'll say that I really like keyboard shortcuts. I'm constantly opening my preferences window, so I like a keyboard shortcut for that. And then I'm opening my keyboard shortcuts window a lot, so I like a shortcut for that as well. Kind of a meta question there. So firstly, just if you want a tip for that, open up keyboard shortcuts and just type in keyboard. And so you can make a shortcut for the shortcut window itself. I make Shift-Control-K, so super quick to open. And then to open preferences through a keyboard shortcut, you can just type in preference and go to common, global common, Shift-Control-P. That's what I like it to be. I don't think that conflicts with anything else. So now to address the scaling, open up preferences and type in scaling. These search windows, search bars within preferences and everywhere else within here are super useful. Sometimes they're hard to see and easy to forget they're there, but they're really helpful if you know what you're searching for. So GUI and font scaling, that's what we need. Right now it's 100%. So as I increase this, I'm going to increase this 2 ticks, and I can barely see the ticks here, so I'm going to guess where they are. Okay, so I think that you can see my dialog windows. Everything's going to become bigger now. And so the odd thing is these automation points don't immediately change. So you actually have to quit Ardour and restart to make those resize. But there's a shortcut, which I think is just do your open recent. And if I just open the same session, don't even save, I think that should be enough to trigger this resizing. I've got something going on with my computer here. I have too many versions. I have too many instances of Ardour open, so something's going a bit crazy here. I'm going to ignore that. I don't get that every day. We'll wait a second. Okay, so that did work. Now these are much bigger. They're super easy to grab now. And I haven't given up a ton of real estate with the GUI sizing. I've given up a little, though. So if I find that I want more, I might have to find if there's an in-between point. But these are super easy to grab now. So I hope that helps.